Welcome to my channel, Marina X. I'm Marina. Today we are going to be doing a drugstore makeup try-on haul. I have 8 things here that I am very excited to be trying out. Some things I've heard really good things about, other stuff I haven't heard anything about. So, if you watched my first video, you'll recall me saying that I really needed to get some new makeup. I actually went and spent about $40 at Walmart, which really doesn't seem like that much, but I'm broke. So it was a lot, but I got the things that I felt that I needed. So I got the e.l.f. Camo Concealer, which I've heard a lot of good things about. I've heard it's a dupe for another really good concealer that's a whole lot more expensive. And then I got Maybelline lipstick in the shade 930 Truffle Tease. I haven't heard anything about that. I have just been needing to try out some new lipsticks, some new lipstick colors, because I'm not really sure yet what looks greatest on me. And then I bought some eyelashes, Salon Perfect wispies, because I've been needing some eyelashes, and along with that I bought the Kiss Strip Lash Adhesive. I really wasn't wanting to get the black one, but it was the only one they had, so. And then I got this L'Oreal Paris Brow Stylist Frame and Set in the shade 2015 Deep Brunette. I haven't heard anything about this, so I'm really hoping that it's good, but I guess we'll have to see. And then I bought the AIRSPUN Loose Face Powder because, like I said, I've been really needing some setting power, and I've heard great things about that, even for my own family, so hopefully that works out well. And then I bought the Wet n Wild Megaglo Highlighting Powder in the shade 319B Blossom Glow. It looks like a really good product, but I guess we'll have to see. And then, last but not least, I bought the Wet n Wild Photofocus Rose 3-in-1 Primer Water, which is setting spray. Whew. It's supposed to prep, set, and refresh, so I guess this is the thing that I'm going to need to be starting with. Alright, now that I've brought you a little bit closer, let's go ahead and get into it. So this Rose Primer Spray says that it prep, sets, and refreshes. So I guess I'm supposed to use it as a primer and a setting spray, so that's what we're going to do. Not really sure how far to hold this from my face. That feels weird. Smells good though. Definitely smells like roses. I don't know how they managed to get it to smell so perfect, but it smells exactly like roses. So that's very nice. That means that the next step is to conceal. So I'm going to go ahead and take this e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer. I like how big the packaging is. Like that almost looks like a lipstick. Actually, it's probably bigger. Yeah, it's bigger than a lipstick. But we're just going to take that, just do as I normally would. A lot of product on that too. That's very nice. I think it might be too light for me, but I'm new at this whole situation, so can't blame me, I guess. Just kind of put it in all the spots that I normally would. Just like that. Now I am going to take my beauty blender, a little bit moist, dab everywhere but the under eyes first. Yeah, it is a little bit light for me, but I don't think it looks horrible once we get it blended out. This looks like some lighter spots on my face, which could really help with the contouring. I was actually also going to buy a contour stick, but I didn't need the concealing part of it, and I feel like why pay for 2 sides if you only need one side, but there wasn't any cheaper alternatives, so I just gave up on that. Gonna keep with my bronzer, I believe. So now I'm just dragging this out like I normally would, and down my nose. line again, just out and down. And then we just blend, blend, blend. Normally when I do my foundation, I don't know if this is weird or not, but I actually use the bottom part and just kind of, but obviously I am not doing foundation right now. I also kind of look like a ghost. I think that concealer is a little too light. But I think once I apply my bronzer, it'll be alright. It almost kind of conceals for me, which is pretty cool. I'll go ahead and pat it on my eyelids as well, just because I know I'm going to be putting some there later, so I'll just pat it on now. Alright, so now I've got the Color Workshop bronzer, the only one that I have, and we're going to take that angled brush. I just washed all my brushes. That'll be a new video coming out another time. Here's the angled brush. So look how much better that looks. It's so much better. Here we are. Let's go ahead and just dip right into that bronzer. The only problem that I have with this bronzer is that it is a little bit pinky, which kind of just makes it look like blush, which I guess wouldn't be a problem if I wore contour, but like I said, I don't own any, so I don't know. And this is also a drugstore bronzer, if you can't tell simply by the packaging and what it's called. But I'm not sure where it came from. I got it as a gift, so. Questions, just gotta guess it. Just blending that out all around my face. I try and get my jawline, even though you can't see it. I'm going to work today, so you won't be able to see my jawline. But I get it anyway because it makes me feel better about myself. Just a little bit of contouring on my nose. I don't worry too much about it. Just because I already have somewhat of a cute little nose. I've definitely got a button nose, although it's a little bit upturned. And I've definitely got a button nose, which is kind of something that a lot of people strive for, so that's one thing about my face that I actually really, really like. And boom, that's done. Alright, next up, gotta set it. Alright, so for this, it comes with this little, this thing. From what I've heard, literally nobody uses that, which probably means that it's not any good. I forgot to take the sticker off for this. I'm bad at taking stuff off. Just peel that off. There we go. Much better. So what I'm gonna do is actually just kind of like tap it into the lid. I don't know if that's actually what I'm supposed to do. That's good enough for now, I guess. And then I'm going to take my sponge and pick it all up. Just kind of swipe it down this part of my nose and across my eyes. I've heard a lot of people recently talking about not setting your under eye bags. I think it has to do with getting lines, but I really don't get lines like under my eyes too bad. And I think that it looks better if you set it anyway, so that's what I'm doing. And then I'm just going to apply it to all my little areas here. And I'm actually going to take a little brush, this one here, and pick some of that up to apply to my nose, just to kind of help the contour and the concealer that I have on there a little bit. Just apply. There we are. Alright, next I while we're letting that set, I'm going to go ahead and do my eyebrows. So it is the Brow Stylist Frame and Set from L'Oreal in the shade 215/Deep Brunette. And it's not a very big amount, it doesn't look like. Yeah, it's not a huge amount. And I do my eyebrows every day, so if I do get to the point that I really like this, I might go ahead and spend my money to get a better and bigger amount. But for right now, because I have not used pomade in 2 years, I think. I've been using only the liner type, the retractable. And so this is going to be almost new to me. So I am going to just start here on the tail. One thing I do really like about using these is that you can just kind of make your eyebrows whatever shape you'd like. I still generally try and follow the shape of my eyebrow, but it does help me to make them look more similar, which, as I've said before, is something that I'm a little bit self-conscious about, the shape of my eyebrows not being similar enough. So it is very helpful when it comes to that. But overall, I think the shape of my eyebrows kind of, like the shape and thickness of my eyebrows kind of works with my face. I just would appreciate if they were a little bit more similar in style and in shape. And if I'm being honest, this brow pomade probably doesn't look like the right color because my eyebrows are honestly kind of like gray, if that makes sense. They're not super brown, they're more gray. So the pomade probably looks like it's, too dark for them, but it's the color by, see, that's half green, but it's the color of my natural hair, if you can sort of tell. So it's not actually the wrong color. Another thing I have heard about setting powder is that it is possible to make lights, like that it makes lights, I don't know, lights make you look funny if you wear setting powder, but I've also heard that setting powder helps you not to do that, so I'm not really sure what to believe there. If you know, let me know, because I have absolutely no clue. I am going to take my big fluffy brush, freshly clean, look how nice that looks, and get rid of all my setting powder, just kind of brush it off. Pretty sure this is how you're supposed to do it, just brush it off. Get it all off my nose, my forehead. I don't know. I don't really know if it's helpful. I guess we'll have to see throughout the day if it's really done too much. I will say that I think my nose looks better. I think that there's more of a contour to it, but I'm not sure if it's enough that it's really all that important. Moving on. I actually have a very fun idea today for my eyeshadow. It's one of my favorite looks that I've ever done. So I'm going to be using my Street Art palette and open it up. Ignore how dirty it is, but look how beautiful all of these colors are. So my absolute favorite look is to mix the Pink Panther with Fuzzy Peach. So I put the Pink Panther on the inside and blend it out to Fuzzy Peach, or vice versa, however I want to do it, and then I normally will put Tropicana on my cut crease. But I don't think that I will be doing it with Tropicana today, but the very first thing we have to do is prime our eyelids. Alright, so I've got that e.l.f. Camo concealer, and I'm going to use it to prime my eyelids. I've already got some concealer on there, but I dropped some. But I think it would be nice to get some more on there. I'm going to wipe some of it off on the edges and just do a little bit on each eye because there is so much product and it's spread out so nice. I don't feel that I have to use as much product. And then I'm just going to take my sponge and blend it out all over my eyelid. This time it does not seem to be applying quite as well. I don't know if it's maybe because I don't have a primer down or what, but this inner corner looks patchy with it, which isn't really that important, but it is telling me that there are going to be times that the concealer might not go down as well, which is a little bit worrying for someone who literally does not wear foundation. Like as you can see here, the inner corner just does not seem to want to blend up and out. That one did do a little bit better, which is good. Alright, let's get into the look. The first thing I'm going to do is a flat-headed eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to use it to take Pink Panther and just pat it into the inner corner area. Just like that. And I only blend it to about 3/4 of the eyelid because I'll take the orange a little bit farther out. So I just pat it all over that. Actually going to lay down a little bit more because I know when it blends upward, it's gonna get rid of some of that brightness. But like I said, it is honestly very pigmented. I've never had a pink eyeshadow that was quite this pigmented, which is amazing. I absolutely love this palette, but it does blend out, so you really do need to pack a lot on if you're planning on blending the upper pieces. I noticed that it's not patting as well onto this side. I think what may have happened is I may have gotten some of my setting powder on my eyelid, which I believe would cause these problems that I'm having with the concealer and with the eyeshadow over here, because obviously you want a wet base, and if I have setting powder there, the base is going to be a little bit drier. But either way, we just had to pack a little bit more on there than on this side. No big deal. Then I'm going to take the same brush and dip into the fuzzy peach color, but I'm going to use the other side, so if I want to pack some more pink on there, I'm able to without it being orange. And I'm going to start the packing right here where I stopped with the pink, so that I could really figure out exactly how or what shape I'm wanting to do with this. So we just start the packing right here. And then I think I won't do too big of like a wing out area, but I will do a little one, so just like this. I think that that looks good. And then I'm just gonna pack some more in here and do the other side, like I said, starting exactly where I stopped with the pink. Patting plenty on there, and then just winging it out just a little bit. Just like that. And the orange does seem to need a little bit more help than the pink did, so I'm just going to make sure I've got this really packed in here nicely. You don't want to pack it too much when it comes to the wing, because then when you blend it, the wing is going to go even farther out. But then I'm going to take this little blendy brush, dip it right back into this pink, but don't get too much on there. We're obviously not packing again. And we're just going to blend upwards towards the eyebrow. Just like that. Go ahead and do it on the other side. Blending upwards. It does seem to be blending quite nicely. So that is great. Like I said, this is one of my favorite palettes. Probably, honestly, my favorite palette. If I had to choose just one. But it wouldn't be the one that I would take with me to, say, a deserted island or anything like that, because of the fact that it's really not an everyday palette. I mean, it could be for some people if that's what you like, but it is not for me. Like I said, I go more for neutral brown tones in my everyday. But I do adore these looks. I think they look fantastic. And I will say, putting these colors on top of the e.l.f. Camo concealer honestly looks better than when I was putting them on top of my other concealer. I don't know if I did a different technique or if it's actually because of the concealer, but we're going to say it's because of the concealer. I like the concealer. Now, the orange on this side isn't as vibrant as the orange on this side, so I'm going to pack some in here with the same fluffy brush. Just keep using that brush, and then I'll blend it upwards towards the brow bone and outwards, just like this. And then be sure to blend the two colors together or else it won't look quite right. I'd say that looks pretty good. I'm not exactly sure on the blending. I feel like I didn't blend as well as I normally would. But I think it looks fine. Now we're going to go ahead and cut my crease. And like I said, I'm just going to, I think, probably just leave it white. So what I do to cut my crease is I take a little bit of concealer. I pat it on there, up, beautiful, and then I normally would take my finger, but if I'm wanting a specific shape, I take this lip brush. I'm just going to take it and drag it around and then pat it. I only drag it because you really don't want to drag it. You won't get any coverage that way. But it's how I am able to open up and see the shape that I'm wanting before I start patting in there and making mistakes. Just go ahead and open up that shape. Your palette. Dip right back into Fuzzy Peach and blend it on the outside here. And actually, I'm going to blend some more of the colors over the top. I think this side is alright, but this side I did take a little bit high. So we're just going to blend the colors on top of the concealer right here. You're still going to be able to see the shape. There's nothing we can do about that at this point. But just kind of blend it around. Much better. Right? And there is our final look. Next I have obviously got to do my eyeliner and prepare to do my lashes. So I'm going to go off camera to do my eyeliner. One of my favorite things about doing the winged out eyeshadow like this is that it looks great with or without winged eyeliner. So it's one of those looks that if you're not great at winged eyeliner, you can still do it, no problem. And I think that it looks great without it, as you can see here, because it's not covering up those colors. So my next step is to do eyelashes. I have not put on lashes in so long, but the first thing we are going to do is take our mascara. And I'm not going to curl my lashes first thing because they will stick up and then it'll be harder to put my lashes on. So I'm just going to put the mascara on them because that's going to help them blend with the eyelashes a little bit better. Both sides. See, I actually have really great eyelashes. They just go straight out, so it's hard to see them. There we go. So we've got my mascara on. One thing I will say that I do like about the black adhesive is that I can use it to where it almost looks like eyeliner. So that's what I do. I actually take an eyeliner brush, as you can see here, nice and thin, and take a little bit of this adhesive, and you actually use the adhesive to kind of hold it flat as well, like here. It's much flatter now that I've got that adhesive on there. And then we're just going to take a little bit of that and put it on top of the liner that I have on my eyelashes. Being sure to get as close to the lash line as possible here. You don't want your eyelashes way above your actual lashes. That does not look good. And I still do usually put a little bit on my eyelashes themselves. But first you just gotta get that eyeliner on there. And you're obviously going to wait for it to get tacky, like you would putting eyelash glue on actual lashes. Got a lot of adhesive from the band on there. Alright, now I'm just going to test them with the shape of my eyeball, and they're actually pretty much a perfect length. And then once again, I'm going to take the eyeliner brush because I feel like it's a lot easier than trying to get all of the glue on that tiny little band, and tap it onto the band, focusing mainly on the inner and outer corners, but of course I'm going to cover the whole area. So now is the hard part because I am horrible at putting on lashes. Anyway, there we are. Now it is time for the next one. Blend them a little bit more. We're just going to take some more mascara and just blend into the lashes. And there you have it. These are definitely not what I would wear every day. They're a little bit big and glamorous for me, but I kind of love them. I think that they open up my eyes a little bit, which is awesome. And the next thing that we have here is lippy stick. So like I said, it is the Maybelline, and it is 930 Truffle Tease. I do not own any lip liner, so we're just going to go straight in with this nice neutral brown color. And there we go. I think that that looks wonderful with the eye makeup that I have. And honestly, I think that it fits me pretty well. I like the color quite a bit. And then last but not least, I have my Wet n Wild highlight powder. It is, like I said, in the shade 319B Glow. Sorry, Blossom Glow. And I am going to take this fan brush and use it. Normally I would just use my finger, but I would like to see how this fan brush works. See, because I know everybody stopped using the fan brush, but at one point everyone was using it. But now I am starting to understand why they stopped. Although I do have the glow, I do. Just not as much as I would like. I think the fan brush could work for like an everyday look, but it's not picking up enough of that glow for me. I can't forget right here. And then, last but most certainly not least, I'm just going to take this brush because it's thinner and the eyeshadow palette and run these colors underneath the eyes. Just because I feel like when you use bright colors, you pretty much have to do that. And all done. Thank you for joining. I'm really glad that I tested out all of these products. So here are my last thoughts. First with the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. Oh, I forgot my setting spray. Alright, first for the e.l.f. Camo Concealer, I really love it. I do think that I probably got a shade too light, but there weren't too many options, so I think that overall it worked really well. The AIRSPUN, looking at my skin now, I do think that setting it was definitely the right idea, doing the baking. I think that that'll be what I start doing from now on. I really like the way that that looks. The L'Oreal Brow Stylist Fragrance Set, it is the perfect color. I feel like I have more control. The brush that it came with is actually really, really good, which is not something that normally happens when you get a brush with the pomade set. So that was actually really cool. The wispies, the style looks a little bit different on my face than it does in the package, in my opinion. But I do like them. I think I just need to get a little bit more used to them, and need to get a little bit more accustomed to actually having lashes on. Like I said, the lash strip adhesive, I really, really wish that I would have had clear, but they didn't have any clear, so the black is the best bet. But like I said, I do like that I'm able to wear it as eyeliner if I choose to, or just apply it as eyeliner even if I have eyeliner already down. This lipstick in the shade 930 Truffle Tease, I still have my thoughts on it because I'm not for sure if this is really my color yet or not. But I do think that with this look, it looks great. I do think that it is great for when you have more wowza eyes, because it kind of brings it a little bit down, calms it down a little bit. This highlighter, I'm just going to do a swatch since I don't have quite as much glow as I was hoping for, but that's because of the fan brush, I do believe. So just a quick swatch here. I'll do it right here. Yeah, that is, I don't know if you can see it, but it's got some serious glow. Yeah, you can't see it, but it's got really nice glow. It looks great. And I can't say I do love the design on it. It's very cute. I really don't know what it's supposed to be, but it's very cute. Probably the Blossom, since it's called Blossom Glow. And then last but not least, the setting spray. Looking at it here, I think that looking how nicely all of my face stuff has been applied, I think that it is great for primer, although it is very light primer, so it's not it's not going to be super clingy or anything like that, like some people want when they do a full face of makeup. But I really do love the smell. I think it smells amazing, and I think that it looks great. I guess I'll just have to see how it holds up later on.